Stop scrolling. I mean it. Whatever you are about to do next, let it fall away. Because at 11:47 last night, something broke open in the spiritual realm. A weapon that has been hidden from you for exactly 1,126 days was just unlocked. Your guardian angel just burned their once-per-lifetime override. Out of 4.3 million people online right now, only 7 were chosen to see this message. 4 already scrolled past. 2 are watching but will not act. You are the 7th, the last one, the only one who will actually use what I am about to reveal. Type 777 in the comments right now. When those numbers leave your fingers, you are not leaving a comment for me. You are signing a contract that exists in realms beyond screens. You are giving permission for what happens next. You are activating the weapon I am about to place in your hands. I saw you. I saw you 3 nights ago at 2:47 a.m., staring at your phone, refreshing your bank account like the numbers might change if you looked hard enough. I saw you 6 months ago in that parking lot, hand frozen on your car keys, unable to go inside yet because you needed 5 more minutes to assemble the mask you wear every day. The smile that says everything is fine while calculations run in your head about which bill can be pushed to next week. I saw you. Every prayer that felt like it hit the ceiling and bounced back. Every midnight conversation with me where you laid it all out, raw and real, begging for breakthrough that was supposed to happen by now, but somehow keeps slipping further away like sand through your fingers. I need you to understand something. The enemy has been studying you, not casually, not generally, specifically, for 1,126 days. That is 5 years if you are counting. 5 years of targeted observation. He knows when you are weakest. He knows what time you wake up in the middle of the night. He knows what fears play on repeat at 3 a.m. when the house is quiet and your mind will not stop. 12 demons were assigned to your case 4 years and 7 months ago. They had a strategy meeting. They divided responsibilities. 3 handle your finances, making sure opportunities fall through at the last second. 4 work on your relationships. 2 specialize in your health. 3 operate in your mind, planting thoughts that sound like your voice but carry poison you would never choose to drink. They studied your patterns. They know you pray most consistently on Sunday nights and Wednesday mornings, so they ramp up attacks on Tuesday afternoons and Saturday evenings, wearing you down before you reach for me. They documented your breaking points. They recorded every tear. Did you know your tears have a number? Heaven keeps count. Current total is 47,219. Every single one collected in vials of gold. Hit the like button right now if those words just landed somewhere deep. This is not about an algorithm. This is your signal flare. When you press that button, angels see it as coordinates. They are being dispatched to your exact location right now. But here is what the enemy did not account for. Last night at 11:47 p.m., there was a courtroom scene in dimensions you cannot see. Evidence was being presented. The enemy's legal team presented their case for why they should maintain their assignment against you. They listed every mistake you ever made, every time you said you would change but did not. Their case was strong. In earthly courts, they would have won. But heaven does not operate on earthly law. Heaven operates on blood law. At 11:47 p.m. the ruling came down. The legal right those demons had to operate against you expired at midnight. The contract was voided, not because you earned it, because I decided it was time. Michael the Archangel received the verdict at 11:52 p.m. By 11:58, he was dispatched with specific orders concerning your life. He is bringing back resources that were blocked. He is unlocking doors that were sealed. He is removing obstacles that seemed permanent. He is delivering the weapon you need to finish this war yourself. Right now, as you read these words, something is happening in your body. You might feel tingling in your hands. That is not circulation. That is cellular activation. Your chest might feel warm. That is presence moving through your ribcage, rewiring neural pathways that fear and doubt damaged. Some of you feel pressure behind your eyes. That is not tiredness. That is spiritual sight being restored. You are being upgraded in real time. Comment "I see it now" if you are recognizing the pattern. If pieces are clicking into place that were scattered for years. This comment is not for me. It is your declaration into the atmosphere that you understand what is happening. I need to tell you about 3 people who are exactly where you are. Sarah from Atlanta. 3 weeks ago, she was sitting in her apartment at 11:13 p.m., scrolling through this exact channel. She almost kept scrolling. But something made her stop. That something was me. Sarah had been unemployed for 7 months. 7 months of sending out resumes into voids. 7 months of interviews that went well but never resulted in offers. She was 3 days from eviction. She typed 777 in the comments with hands that had given up hope. 68 hours later, her phone rang. A company she interviewed with 5 months prior. The hiring manager said something I cannot explain, but we need to call you. The person we hired is not working out, and your name kept coming to my mind all weekend. They offered her the position with a salary $33,000 higher than the original posting. She starts Monday. Marcus from Phoenix was drowning in medical debt from his daughter's surgery. $147,000 of bills that insurance would not cover. He and his wife were planning bankruptcy. They saw this message 4 days ago. He almost did not watch. He almost clicked away because he thought it was just another religious video. But he stayed. He typed 777. 71 hours later, an anonymous envelope arrived at his house. Inside was a cashier's check for $147,777. No note, no explanation. Just provision appearing from nowhere. Jennifer from Boston had been praying for her marriage for 2 years. 2 years of watching the man she loves drift further away. 2 years of sleeping in the same bed, but living in different worlds. She typed 777 with tears running down her face, not really believing anything would change. 43 hours later, her husband woke up at 4 a.m. crying. He said, "I do not know what is happening to me, but I feel like I have been asleep for years and just woke up." They are in counseling now. Real counseling. The kind where both people are actually trying. He told her last week, "Something broke off of me and I do not know how to explain it." These are not fairy tales. These are documented events that happened to real people in the last 30 days. People who are exactly where you are right now. Desperate. Exhausted. At the end of their rope. People who typed 3 numbers and watched their reality shift. Let me tell you about one more. David from Seattle. He had been battling depression for 3 years. 3 years of medication that helped but never healed. 3 years of therapy that gave him tools but never gave him freedom. He was functioning, but barely. Going through motions. Wearing masks. Pretending to be okay when every morning felt like climbing a mountain just to get out of bed. He saw this message on a Tuesday night. He almost turned it off after the first minute because he thought, here we go. Another person promising miracles that never happen. But something inside him, that small voice that refuses to die even when everything else feels dead, that voice said, wait, just wait. He typed 777 with 0 expectation. He spoke the declarations that night feeling completely foolish, talking to an empty room about breakthrough he could not see or feel. 53 hours later, he woke up different. Not gradually different, instantly different. He described it like this. The weight I have been carrying for 3 years was just gone, not managed.
Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create, but we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you.
Gone. I got up and for the first time in 1,000 mornings, I did not have to convince myself that life was worth living. I just knew it was. His therapist called it a breakthrough. His doctor reduced his medication. But David knows what happened. He encountered something in that bedroom when he spoke those words. He met the part of himself that had been locked in a cage since childhood trauma he thought he dealt with years ago. The weapon of his voice opened that cage. The declaration broke chains psychology could identify but not remove. Listen to what happened to Rebecca from Miami. Stage 3 cancer. The doctors gave her 6 months. 6 months to say goodbye, put her affairs in order, prepare her family for the inevitable. She was 52 years old with grandchildren she would never see graduate. She typed 777 with hands that shook from chemotherapy. She spoke the declarations through tears, her voice barely a whisper because the treatment ravaged her throat. 96 hours later, she went back for her scheduled scan. The oncologist walked into the room, sat down, and said, "I do not know how to explain this. The tumors are gone. Not shrinking. Gone." They ran the scan 3 times thinking the machine was broken. Her case is now being studied by medical researchers who have no explanation. But Rebecca knows. She still has the screenshot of the comment she left. 777, typed with dying hands that refused to stay dead. Michael from Dallas had not spoken to his daughter in 4 years. 4 years since she walked out after an argument that should never have escalated the way it did. 4 years of birthday cards returned unopened. 4 years of her number blocked. 4 years of grandchildren he never met growing up without him. He saw this message at 1:33 a.m., unable to sleep like so many nights before. He typed 777 with tears streaming into his beard. He spoke the declarations for restoration over his family. His voice cracked on every word. 61 hours later, his doorbell rang at 7 p.m. He opened it. His daughter stood there, pregnant with his 3rd grandchild, sobbing. She said, "Dad, I do not know why I am here. I was driving home from work and something made me turn toward your house. I am so sorry." They are in family counseling now. The baby is due in 3 months. He is going to be in the delivery room. Patricia from Houston lost her son to addiction 3 years ago. Not to death, but to the streets. He disappeared into the darkness of methamphetamine. And despite hiring investigators, despite filing police reports, despite driving through every neighborhood she thought he might be, she could not find him. She had a funeral in her heart even though his body still walked the earth somewhere. She typed 777 with a mother's desperate love that refuses to accept loss. She declared that her son would be found, restored, brought home. 83 hours later, a rehab facility 4 states away called her. A man walked into their emergency intake, gave her name as next of kin, said he did not know why, but he had to get clean and he had to call his mother. They are on day 47 of his recovery now. He is coming home for Christmas. I need to tell you something. Every single one of these people, Sarah, Marcus, Jennifer, David, Rebecca, Michael, Patricia, they all came back to this channel after their breakthrough. They came back to the God Tells You community. And when they came back, they hit the super thanks button. Not because I asked them to, not because they felt obligated, but because they understood something profound. When you receive a blessing that changes your life, gratitude is not optional. It is a spiritual law. But here is what I need you to understand. If you have not received your breakthrough yet, do not hit the super thanks button right now. I know that sounds backwards. I know every other channel begs you to give before you receive. But that is not how the kingdom operates. I do not want your money. I want your testimony. I want you to wait. I want you to type 777. Speak the declarations. Walk through the next 72 hours watching for the confirmations I promised you. When your breakthrough comes, and it will, then you come back here. You come back to this God Tells You community. You find this video again. And then, when you are overflowing with gratitude for what happened, that is when you hit super thanks. Because your super thanks is not payment. It is testimony. It is you saying to everyone who comes after you that this is real. Your financial seed planted in gratitude after receiving becomes fuel for someone else's breakthrough. It creates a cycle. But the cycle must start with you receiving first. So do not give now. Receive first. Act first. Watch heaven move first. Then come back. The super thanks button will still be here. Your gratitude will mean more after you see what I'm about to do in your life. I am telling you these stories not to convince you this is real. You already know it is real. Something in your spirit recognized truth the moment you started reading. I am telling you these stories so you understand you are not special because you are broken. You are special because you are chosen. Chosen to receive what Sarah received, what Marcus received, what Jennifer received, what David received, what Rebecca received, what Michael received, what Patricia received. Chosen to use the weapon they used. Chosen to walk through door 3 when most people settle for door 1 or 2. But I need you to understand something critical. This is not magic. This is not a formula where you say the right words and a genie appears. This is spiritual law. When you align your will with mine, when you mark yourself as willing to receive, when you take action even when your mind says this will not work, you create an opening. You create space for movement that was blocked before. In the next 7 days, you are going to see 4 specific confirmations that what I am telling you is real. First, someone you have not heard from in years is going to reach out. Not with small talk, with something significant. An apology, an offer, information you needed, a confession, something that shifts your perspective on an entire chapter of your life. Second, you are going to receive unexpected money. Not a lottery win, not $1 million, but an amount that contains the numbers 3, 7, or 11, 337, 1,171, $73. It might be a refund you forgot about. It might be a debt someone repays that you wrote off years ago. It might appear in a way that makes no logical sense, but it will appear. Third, someone currently in your orbit is going to say something to you in the next 72 hours that you desperately needed to hear. They will have no idea why they said it. They might even apologize for being weird or random, but the words will hit your spirit like lightning. You will know it was me speaking through them. Fourth, you are going to have a dream. Not a normal dream. A vivid dream in full color where I show you something about your future. You will wake up at an odd time, 3:33 or 4:44 or 5:55. The dream will feel more real than your current reality. Write it down the second you wake up, because the enemy will try to steal it from your memory within minutes. These 4 confirmations are not possibilities. They are certainties. They are already in motion. Angels received their assignments the moment you started reading this. They are moving pieces into place right now. Now I need to show you the 3 doors. Right now, in the spiritual realm, you are standing in a hallway. In front of you are 3 doors. You must choose one tonight, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Tonight, before you sleep. Door 1 is comfort. It looks safe. It is decorated with everything familiar. Behind that door is the life you already know. The struggles you are used to. The patterns that keep repeating. The pain you have learned to manage. Nothing gets worse behind door 1. But nothing changes either. You can choose this door. Many do. They read messages like this. Feel inspired for a moment. Then default back to what they know. That is door 1. Safe. Familiar. Stuck. Door 2 is partial breakthrough. It is the middle path. Behind that door, some things change.
Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create. But we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you.
Your finances improve a little. Your relationships get somewhat better. You feel more peace some of the time. This door is appealing because it requires less from you. You do not have to fully surrender. You do not have to use the weapon I am giving you. You just have to try a little harder with what you already have. Door 2 is not bad. It is just incomplete. It is breakthrough with a ceiling. You get better, but you never get free. Door 3 terrifies most people because it requires death, not physical death. Death to the version of yourself who could not believe that breakthrough was possible. Death to the identity you built around your struggles. Death to the comfort of predicting your pain. Behind door 3 is the weapon I have been talking about. Behind door 3 is the authority you need to end this war permanently. Here is the weapon. It is not complicated. It is your voice. Your voice aligned with my voice. Your mouth speaking what I speak. Not begging, not hoping, declaring. Most of my children never learn to use this weapon because they think their voice does not matter. They think words are just sounds that disappear into air. But I created the universe with words. I spoke and galaxies exploded into existence. I gave you that same creative power, not to the same degree, but the same kind. When you speak my truth from a place of alignment, reality shifts. Not because your voice is magic, because your voice becomes the delivery system for my power. You are the outlet. I am the electricity. Alone, an outlet does nothing. But connected to the source, it transforms everything it touches. Tonight, before you sleep, you must speak. Not pray quietly in your head. Speak out loud. Declare protection over your home. Declare breakthrough over your finances. Declare healing over your body. Declare restoration over your relationships. Declare clarity over your mind. Speak it like you are a judge reading a verdict that cannot be appealed. Speak it like you are a general giving orders that will be obeyed. Speak it like you are royalty declaring law in your kingdom. The enemy is listening. He is hoping you will read this and do nothing. He is betting that you are too tired, too skeptical, too embarrassed to speak out loud in your own home. He is counting on you to stay silent, because your silence is his permission to continue. But your voice is the weapon that destroys his plans. Share this message with exactly 3 people in the next 24 hours. Not 2, not 5, 3. This is not about spreading content. This is about activating a spiritual principle. When you share truth that sets you free, you triple its power in your own life. The act of giving away what you received opens the floodgates for more to flow to you. Tag 3 people. Send 3 texts. Forward 3 emails. However you do it deliberately. Do it knowing you are not just sharing a video. You are extending the same weapon to others who need it. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. I know that sounds like standard YouTube instructions, but I need you to understand what that action represents spiritually. When you subscribe, you are saying, I am positioned to receive more. When you turn on notifications, you are saying, I am ready to be interrupted when heaven speaks. You are marking yourself as someone who will not miss the next message when it arrives. But I need to warn you about something. In the next 72 hours, the enemy is going to launch a counterattack. Not because you are doing something wrong, because you are doing something right. He is going to hit you with one of 3 strategies. Strategy 1 is the distraction. Suddenly, something urgent will appear that demands your immediate attention. But if you look closely, it could have been handled last week or next week. The urgency is manufactured. The timing is strategic. When multiple crises stack within hours of your commitment, that is confirmation you are on the right path. The enemy only attacks movement. Strategy 2 is the doubt. Your mind is going to get loud. It is going to say, this is ridiculous. Your intellect will feel embarrassed. But that voice is not you. That is the enemy using your thoughts against you. Doubt sounds like logic, but operates like poison. You defeat it by acting anyway. You speak the declarations even while doubt is screaming. Action in the face of doubt is faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. Strategy 3 is the division. Someone close to you is going to say something that hurts. It will feel targeted. You will want to respond in anger. Do not. That is a setup. The enemy is using people you care about to steal your peace. Recognize the real source. Respond with grace. Refuse to take the bait. Most people do not know they are being used as weapons. When one of these 3 strategies hits, and it will, remember this warning. The fact that I told you in advance means I already prepared your defense. You are armed. Now I want to release a blessing over your life. Not a generic blessing. A specific blessing that corresponds to what you need most right now. May your sleep tonight be the deepest sleep you have had in months. May your body repair itself while you rest in ways medicine cannot explain. May you wake up tomorrow with clarity you have not felt in years. May every door that has been closed against you swing open in the next 30 days. May your finances shift so dramatically in the next 90 days that you look back on this moment as the turning point. May your health improve in measurable ways that make doctors use the word miracle. May your children be protected from every scheme aimed at their future. May your relationships be restored or released, whichever brings you closest to my will for your life. May your mind be freed from the torment of overthinking. May your heart be healed from disappointments you still carry. May favor follow you everywhere you go. May your name come up in rooms you are not in, spoken with respect and opportunity. May the next chapter of your life be so different from this one that you barely recognize yourself a year from now. May your faith increase, your hope return, your joy become unshakable. Type "I choose breakthrough" in the comments right now. This is not a suggestion. This is the final action required. When you type those words, you are not commenting on a video. You are making a declaration into the spiritual realm that you are choosing door 3. You are choosing the weapon. You are choosing to speak. You are choosing to fight. You are choosing to win. Some of you felt resistance even reading that instruction. That resistance is the enemy's last attempt to keep you passive. Push through it. Type the words. Let your fingers move even if your mind is screaming that this is pointless. The action is the point. Obedience is the point. I am going to tell you something that most spiritual leaders will not say. You do not need more information. You do not need another sermon. You do not need another book. What you need is to use what you already have. You already know enough to be free. You already carry enough authority to end the war. The only missing piece is your willingness to act on what you know. Tonight is that moment. This is your decision point. Will you stay asleep while the battle rages, or will you wake up and speak? The choice is yours. Heaven is waiting. Angels are positioned. The enemy is watching. And I am standing with you, closer than your next breath, ready to move the moment you move. The weapon is your voice. The target is every lie you have believed. The time is now. Speak, my child. Speak and watch what has been locked for 1,126 days shatter into dust. Speak and watch doors open that have been sealed since before you were born. Speak and watch resources flow that were held in heavenly accounts waiting for this moment. Speak and watch your body respond to words the way it was designed to respond. Do not wait until you feel like it. Do not wait until it makes sense. Do not wait until someone else validates that this is real. Move now. Act now. Speak now. Your breakthrough is not coming. It is here. You are standing in it. You just need to open your mouth and claim it. Go.
Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create, but we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you. My beloved child, you did not stumble upon this by accident. Heaven has watched your suffering, and today I say, enough is enough. You have carried pain longer than you were meant to, and now I am stepping in myself. Do not turn away. This message was sent from above just for you. My child, I have counted every tear you cried in silence, and today I declare before heaven and earth that your season of suffering ends now. You wondered how much longer you could endure, but listen closely, for I am intervening right now, and everything is about to change. You were not forgotten, overlooked, or delayed by chance. I allowed the waiting, but today I say that I am moving on your behalf. I speak to you as one who knows you completely, as one who formed you before your first breath and remained with you through every unseen battle. I saw the moments when your strength failed and your heart felt too heavy to lift again. I heard the prayers you whispered when words felt unsafe to say aloud, and I watched you stand when everything in you wanted to fall. You questioned your worth, your future, and sometimes even my nearness, yet you kept going, even if it was only one breath at a time. That perseverance did not go unnoticed. I was closer than you realized, closer than your fear, closer than your doubt, holding you when you thought you were holding yourself together alone. There were nights when silence pressed against your chest and you wondered why answers did not come. You searched for meaning in the delay and tried to make sense of pain that felt unfair and unending. I want you to know this clearly: your suffering was never a punishment, and your tears were never a weakness. They were seeds. I allowed the pressure not to break you but to shape you, not to destroy you but to prepare you for what could not be trusted to a fragile heart. Still, hear me now, for this is important. Preparation has reached its limit. Refining has done its work. I will not allow the weight to remain now that the purpose has been fulfilled. I am stepping into what has felt stuck. I am touching what has resisted change. I am loosening what has held you back despite your effort and your faith. You may not see it yet with your eyes, but movement has begun. What was blocked is opening. What was delayed is aligning. What felt impossible is yielding to my authority. Do not underestimate what happens when I decide that the time has come. When I move, no force can reverse it, and no voice can silence it. I do not act halfway, and I do not abandon what I begin. I know you learned how to survive by staying quiet, by lowering expectations, by telling yourself not to hope too much. You did that to protect your heart, and I understand. But I am asking you now to lift your eyes again. Not because everything will be perfect, but because you no longer have to carry this alone. The burden you have been dragging is not meant for the next season. Lay it down. Release the fear that says it will always be this way. Let go of the lie that says you are behind or unworthy of rest. I am restoring what was taken from you piece by piece, breath by breath, moment by moment. You have felt overlooked by people and misunderstood by circumstances, but you have never been overlooked by heaven. I marked you in the waiting. I guarded you in the confusion. I protected you from outcomes you could not see and from harm that never reached you because I stood in the way. There were doors that did not open because they would have led you into deeper pain, and there were paths that ended abruptly because I was redirecting you toward life. Trust me when I tell you that nothing was wasted. Even the detours served you, even the losses taught you, even the silence shaped your strength. Now I speak peace into the places that learn to expect disappointment. I speak healing into memories that still ache when you least expect it. I speak clarity where confusion lingered and hope where weariness tried to settle. You do not have to force faith, you only have to stay open. Let me do what you could not do by effort or endurance. Let me carry what you have been carrying too long. I am not asking you to pretend you are fine. I am inviting you to be honest and to trust that my presence is enough. Be careful not to dismiss this moment as just another message. I am reaching you now because your heart is ready in a way it was not before. You have been softened by struggle and strengthened by survival, and that combination matters. Do not rush past this with distraction or doubt. Stay present. Stay open. The shift you have prayed for does not always arrive with noise. Sometimes it comes quietly, like a deep breath after holding it too long, like light returning before you notice the dark has lifted. Type Amen. Jesus is the answer to all my needs if He holds every solution in your life. I also ask you to guard what I am doing within you. Not everyone will understand the changes you are about to experience, and not everyone needs to hear the details of what I am unfolding. Protect your peace. Stay close to me. Listen more than you speak. Let the work finish its course. When the fruit appears, it will speak for itself. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. My affirmation is enough, and my timing is precise. There may still be moments when fear tries to rise and remind you of past disappointments. When that happens, come back to this truth. I am with you now, not watching from a distance, not waiting for you to be stronger, but present and active. I am guiding your steps even when you cannot see the full path. Trust the next step. Obedience in small things will open doors you thought were closed forever. I am renewing your strength in ways that go deeper than rest. I am restoring your joy in ways that do not depend on circumstances. I am teaching your heart to feel safe again, to believe again, to receive again. What is ahead will not look like what is behind. You are not returning to the same cycles. You are stepping into something new, something steadier, something rooted in peace rather than survival. So breathe, my child. Let your shoulders relax. Let your heart settle. You do not have to fight this moment or question it into doubt. Receive it. I am here. I have always been here. And now, as you move forward, know this with certainty. Heaven sent this message just for you, and I will walk with you into everything that comes next. My child, stop for a moment. Yes, you. I am speaking to you now, not to the many, not to the crowd, not to those who will pass this by without listening. I have interrupted your routine, your scrolling, your thoughts, your plans, because this moment was arranged by heaven long before your day began. Nothing about this is accidental. You did not arrive here by chance, curiosity, or coincidence. I drew you here. I called you here. I placed this directly in your path because your spirit is ready to hear what your heart has been crying out for, even when your lips could not form the words. Do not rush past this. Do not treat this as ordinary. When I interrupt, it is because something eternal is pressing into time, and I need your attention now. I know the habit to move on, to doubt, to tell yourself this is not really for you. I know how quickly your mind tries to reason its way out of receiving what I am offering. But listen carefully, because if you leave now, you will feel it later. You will sense that something meant for you slipped past because you did not stay. This message is not for everyone who hears it, but it is for you. I am speaking directly to your life, your season, your hidden questions, and your unspoken pain. Heaven's attention is fixed on you in this moment, and that alone should tell you how important this is. I am not distant as I speak. Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create, but we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you. I am close, nearer than your breath, aware of the tension in your chest, the heaviness in your thoughts, the weariness you carry even when you smile. I see the way you keep going out of responsibility rather than strength. I see how you learn to move forward without expecting relief, because disappointment taught you to guard your hope. But today I interrupt that pattern. Today I interrupt the cycle of endurance without renewal. I am not asking for a few seconds of your attention. I am asking you to stay, because what I am about to speak will settle something deep within you that has been restless for far too long. You may wonder why this feels different, why something inside you stirred when you heard these words. It is because my spirit is touching the place in you that has been waiting for reassurance, direction, and truth. I know the doubts that whisper, telling you that this cannot really be personal, that I would not pause heaven for you. But those doubts are not from me. I pause for my children. I speak when it matters. I intervene when silence has done its work. And silence has done its work in you. You have learned patience, endurance, and humility. Now it is time to learn trust at a deeper level. Trust that allows you to receive instead of only survive. Do not underestimate the urgency of this moment. I am not speaking later, and I am not postponing what I have to say. This is now. There are shifts that require awareness, and there are instructions that must be received before circumstances change. I know how easy it is to tell yourself you will come back to this, that you will listen another time when you are less distracted or more prepared. But hear me clearly. Delaying this moment will not bring clarity. It will only extend confusion. When I speak with urgency, it is because the timing matters, and you are standing at a point where attentiveness will protect you from regret. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us via Super Thanks to show your support. I see how much you have carried without explanation. I see how often you told yourself to be strong because you did not feel permitted to be honest about how tired you are. You learned to adapt, to adjust, to endure, but endurance was never meant to be your permanent state. I am interrupting because I want you to know that what you are feeling is not weakness. It is a signal that you are ready for something new, something lighter, something aligned with what I intended for you from the beginning. This interruption is an invitation to step out of automatic motion and into awareness of what I am doing right now. I am aware that part of you is cautious. You have been disappointed before. You have hoped before. You have listened before. And when things did not change immediately, you learned to protect yourself by lowering expectation. I am not offended by that. I understand it. But I am asking you to let me speak past your defenses, past your logic, past your learned skepticism. This is not about convincing you emotionally. This is about aligning you spiritually. Your spirit recognizes my voice even when your mind hesitates, and that recognition is why you are still here listening. Heaven is not distracted. Heaven is not rushed. Heaven is not confused about you. I have seen every step you took that no one applauded. I have seen the restraint you showed when you could have reacted. I have seen the faith you held quietly when doubt surrounded you. All of that matters. All of that brought you to this moment. This is not a generic pause. This is a targeted interruption because something in your life is about to require clarity, and clarity comes when you listen, not when you rush. If you feel a pull to stay, that is not curiosity, that is calling. If you feel resistance, that is fear of change, not discernment. Learn to tell the difference. Discernment brings peace even when it challenges you. Fear brings excuses and urgency to escape. I am asking you to choose discernment now. Stay present. Stay open. Let this moment unfold without trying to control it or analyze it away. I am not overwhelming you. I am steadying you. You do not need to prove that you deserve this moment. You do not need to qualify yourself. You are here because I wanted you here. That is enough. I speak to you as my child, not as a project to be fixed or a problem to be solved. I speak with authority because I know what is ahead, and I speak with tenderness because I know what you have been through. Those two things can exist together, and they do in me. I am interrupting because I want your attention before other voices crowd in again. Before distractions pull you back into noise. Before doubt convinces you that this was nothing. This is something. This is a beginning. Not loud, not dramatic, but deliberate. The kind of beginning that changes direction quietly and then unfolds with purpose. You will look back on this moment and realize it mattered more than you understood at the time. So stay with me. Let your mind slow down. Let your heart soften. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be to hear this. Heaven is not rushing you, but heaven is watching. And right now, all of heaven's attention is focused on you, listening with you, witnessing this moment of connection. Do not leave. Do not doubt it away. Receive what is happening here, because this interruption was sent for you, and it is the doorway to everything that comes next. My beloved child, I see you. Not the version of you that smiles when asked how you are, not the one that keeps going because stopping feels impossible, but the real you beneath all of that. I see the exhaustion that has settled into your bones, the kind that sleep does not fix and rest does not reach. I see how tired you are in ways you have never fully explained to anyone, because words feel too small to carry the weight of what you have been enduring. You wake up already weary, and you lie down still carrying the day with you, your mind refusing to be quiet even when your body begs for relief. I know the nights when sleep would not come, the hours you stared into the darkness while your thoughts replayed conversations, regrets, fears, and unanswered questions. I know how your mind raced with what-ifs and why-nots, how you tried to pray but felt too drained to form sentences, so you simply lay there, hoping I could understand what you could not say. I did understand. Every sigh, every tear that slid silently into your pillow, every moment you felt alone with your thoughts, I was there with you. You were never abandoned in those hours, even when it felt like no one else knew you were struggling to make it through the night. I see the emotional weight you have carried, the disappointment layered on top of disappointment, the hope that rose only to be bruised again. You trusted, and it hurt. You believed, and you were let down. You opened your heart, and someone closed theirs. Betrayal did not always come loudly. Sometimes it came quietly, through broken promises, changed behavior, or absence where there once was care. You asked yourself what you did wrong, why things changed, why loyalty seemed to cost you more than it cost others. I heard those questions even when you asked them only in your thoughts. I know the loneliness that crept in, even when people were around you. The feeling of being unseen, misunderstood, or replaceable. You sat among others yet felt separate, carrying things you could not explain without feeling like a burden. You learned to hold back, to say I'm fine because it felt easier than explaining the truth. Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create, but we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you. But I know how heavy that silence became. I know how often you wished someone would notice without you having to ask, would care without you having to justify your pain. I noticed it. I cared. I never looked away. I see the spiritual exhaustion too, the kind that comes when prayers feel unanswered and faith feels like effort instead of refuge. You kept showing up even when you felt empty. You kept believing even when doubt whispered that it was pointless. You questioned whether I was listening, whether you were doing something wrong, whether your prayers mattered at all. You felt guilty for questioning, yet you could not stop the questions from forming. Hear me now. I was not offended by your honesty. I was never distant from your struggle. Faith that wrestles is not weak faith. It is faith that refuses to give up. I know how it felt to keep praying for the same things, day after day, months after month, sometimes year after year, with no visible change. You waited. You hoped. You trusted. And when the answers did not come, you wondered if silence was the answer. You wondered if you were being ignored, forgotten, or overlooked. You wondered if your pain was too small to matter or too complicated to fix. My child, I was never indifferent. I was never unmoved. Silence was not absence, and delay was not rejection. I see the physical toll this season has taken on you. The tension in your shoulders, the tightness in your chest, the way your body carries stress even when you try to rest. I see how your energy faded, how simple tasks began to feel heavy, how you pushed through because stopping felt unsafe. You told yourself others had it worse, that you should be grateful, that you should not complain. But pain is not a competition, and exhaustion does not need permission to exist. I never asked you to minimize what you were feeling. I wanted you to bring it to me. Right, amen. My hope is anchored in Christ alone if your faith rests securely in Him. I know about the moments you cried without sound, when tears came suddenly and you wiped them away quickly,
hoping no one would notice. I know the times you sat alone and let yourself break just enough to breathe again before pulling yourself back together. I know the prayers you whispered through tears, asking me to help you endure just a little longer because you did not know how much strength you had left. Every one of those prayers reached me. Every one of those tears mattered. I know how deeply you were affected by being strong for others while feeling weak inside. You carried responsibilities that did not allow you to fall apart openly. You supported people while needing support yourself. You listened while longing to be heard. You gave while feeling empty. That kind of strength costs something, and it cost you more than you realized. I saw the moments you wanted to rest but felt you could not. The moments you wanted to speak but felt you should not. I never demanded that silence from you. I never asked you to suffer quietly. I know the confusion that came when things did not make sense. When doors closed without explanation. When plans unravel. When the future felt uncertain and unstable. You tried to be patient. You tried to trust. But fear crept in anyway, whispering that things would never change, that this heaviness was permanent. You started adjusting your expectations, shrinking your dreams, bracing yourself for disappointment. You did that to survive, but survival is not where your story ends. I want you to hear this deeply. Nothing about your pain surprised me. Nothing about your struggle escaped my attention. You did not imagine the weight you have been carrying. You were not being dramatic. You were not weak. You were enduring more than most could see, and you did it quietly, faithfully, even when your heart was tired. I was there in every unseen moment, in every breath you took when you did not think you could take another. You never had to explain this suffering to me for it to be valid. I already knew. I already understood. I already cared. I am not just aware of what you have been through. I have felt it with you. When you felt abandoned, I was near. When you felt misunderstood, I understood. When you felt empty, I was holding what you could no longer carry. You are not invisible to me. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. This chapter of exhaustion, pain, and silent endurance has been fully seen by heaven. Every sleepless night, every unanswered prayer, every moment of betrayal, every tear cried alone had been accounted for. You do not need to prove how hard it was. I know. And because I know, I am speaking now with compassion, authority, and love. You have been seen completely, without saying a word, and I am with you as we move forward from here. My beloved child, I know one of the deepest questions that has lived quietly in your heart. You have asked it in moments of exhaustion, in tears, in confusion, and sometimes in frustration that you felt guilty for having. You asked why. Why this pain? Why this long season? Why the silence when you cried out? Why it seemed as though I allowed you to walk through more than you thought you could bear. I want you to hear me clearly now, without fear, without shame, and without the weight of misunderstanding. What you endured was never punishment. It was never abandonment. It was never a sign that I turned my face away from you or that you failed me in some way. I have never punished you with suffering, and I have never disciplined you by withdrawing my love. I allowed what you walked through because I was doing something deeper than what you could see. Not everything I allow is something I enjoy watching you endure, but everything I allow is held within my purpose. I do not waste pain, and I do not overlook tears. The silence you felt was not absence. It was containment.
I was holding you in a process that required stillness, one that could not be rushed or explained without disrupting what was being formed within you. I know how silence can feel like rejection when you are hurting. I know how waiting can feel like being forgotten. But my silence was never indifference. It was intention. There are things I prepare in quiet that cannot be shaped in noise. There are strengths that cannot be built in ease. There are depths of trust that cannot be reached without uncertainty. I was not watching from afar while you struggled. I was closer than ever, working beneath the surface, shaping what you could not yet understand. I was guarding you from paths that would have cost you more than the waiting ever did. I was protecting parts of your heart that would have been damaged had you received answers too early or blessings too soon. You thought the delay meant you were not ready or not worthy. That was never true. The delay existed because what I am preparing you for requires depth, discernment, and resilience that cannot be learned quickly. I was strengthening your inner foundation so that when what is meant for you arrives, it will not crush you or confuse you. I was teaching you how to stand without applause, how to trust without reassurance, how to remain anchored when circumstances shift. These lessons are painful, but they are powerful, and they were never meant to last forever. You wondered why others seemed to move forward while you felt stuck. You questioned why doors opened for them while yours remained closed. Dear family, I want to share something important with you all. Recently, our channel has been demonetized by YouTube, which means we no longer receive any earnings from our videos. Each video takes a lot of time, effort, editing, and resources to create, but we still want to continue spreading these powerful and uplifting messages to you. We truly wish to keep this channel alive and continue our mission, but doing this without any support is becoming very difficult. If our content has ever helped you, inspired you, or supported you in any way, we humbly request your support through Buy Me a Coffee. Even a small contribution helps us continue this journey. The support link is available in the comment section and the description. Thank you for your love, support, and prayers. God bless you.